June 25th, 2024. I am Solid Blue Sister, and this is My Turn to Talk. And I hope everyone's having a wonderful day wherever they are. It is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful hot day here in sunny Southern California. Hey, Frankie, how are you? Oh, goodness gracious. Good to see you. Good to see you. Have some alphabet people here today. Don't know who you are, but welcome. That was weird. That was really weird. Hey, I apologize. You guys are popping in. Hey, Anthony, how are ya? How are ya? Oh boy. I'm fine, Anthony, and you? All right. Hey, Minnesota, how are you? Okay, so let's get started. So let's talk about being an outcast. Um, First of all, why are people outcast? And is being an outcast something something good? I mean, is it something that you know you would want to be? Is it better to be an outcast instead of part of the crowd? Now, what is part of the crowd? Part of the crowd is usually, if you're in high school, everybody had those cliques. You had the football team, and you had the wrestling team, and of course, you had the cheerleaders and the pom pom girls, and all that. Then you had what people called the nerds, who could have been the what people call bookworms, or they studied all the time. But who determines who's an outcast? I mean, society creates outcasts, and um, my question would be, why are there outcasts? Are there outcasts? They're outcasts for many reasons. They're outcasts um, because uh, of the color of your skin. Hey, shy lady. There are outcasts because you don't dress a certain way. Um, Rich, poor, you know, there's outcasts for many, many reasons. But sometimes is it good not being part of the in crowd? And for me personally, hey Shelby, welcome. And for me personally, I have found, and this is just me. I can only speak for myself. being part of the in crowd, depending upon who that in crowd is, a lot of time that in crowd gets you into trouble. It's not always good to have to necessarily run with the in crowd, because the in crowd, um, to me, again, this is just me, and I may get some blowback from this, but the in crowd to me, uh, are people who generally will get you into trouble. They're the ones who want to. They're they tend to be the cruel ones. They tend to be the ones that talk about people. They tend to be the ones that, if you don't fit into their mold, then you just don't fit, and you're an outcast. And again, I say society creates outcasts. You live on the wrong side of the tracks. Well, what does that mean? Your house may be nicer than mine. Your family may drive a better car. You know, yes, shy lady, I do. I wish you had told me that earlier. I would have uploaded for my outro song, but uh, maybe I can find it, and I can still do it. But seriously, and Shelby says that she remembers it also. So you know, society creates outcasts. And again, like I said, living on one side of the track or the others. It's like, you drive a better car than me. What is a better car? I mean, right now, would a 2024 car be better than someone who's driving a 1990? But if your car is always in the shop, and my 1990, it may, have scratches and dents and what have you, but it's still getting me from point A to point B, and yours is always in the shop. Who has the better car? The right side of the tracks. Your house may be bigger than mine. You may have more money. But what if there's more love in my house than is in yours? But you want to deem me an outcast. And sometimes I think being an outcast, and you guys can tell me if you all think this is true or not. If you look at society and you look at people who are really successful, those are the ones that tended to be an outcast. Those are the ones that people may look at and say, "Oh, they were nerds in high school. They did this and they did that. Nobody wanted to hang around them." But a lot of those people, they're very successful. And I'm not measuring success in terms of how much money they have. I'm talking about just in terms of the things that they have done, and they have been successful, as opposed to other people who are not. You could be that football player, that basketball player that has all that money, and you're deeming, someone else an outcast. But if you're getting divorced 5, 6 times, you file bankruptcy how many times? Who's the outcast? I mean, do you have the right to call somebody an outcast? So I don't know. Is it okay to be an outcast? Is it okay not to be part of the in crowd? Do you have to be part of that clique? So my question to you guys now is, when you guys were in high school, middle school, college, adults, on the job, whatever, because there are cliques on in the job, believe me. I worked at a place where there were many, many cliques. And anyway, oh boy. So have any of you guys been part of cliques? Have any of you guys been, I guess, part of an in crowd? Um, that's my question for today. Have you guys, yes or no? Anybody? Anybody? And if you were part of an in crowd, did you like it? Minnesota says no. Shelby says no. Okay. All right. So Shelby, can I ask why you did not like it? Or I'm sorry, I did not say that right. Can I ask why you were you not part of the in crowd by choice? I guess that's the question I want to ask.
Choice. Let me rephrase that. It depends. Well, I wasn't growing up as an adult. At one point in time, yes, I would. I guess you could say I was. Um, but did I like it? At the time, yes. Afterwards, no.
Okay. All right. And Charlotte says, I've always despised the in crowd. There was always one leader, and everyone else were followers. You know what? And that is true. So my question is, who designates the follower of this in crowd? I mean, does the captain of the football team automatically become the leader because he's the captain? So who designates the like? Okay, if you have a clique of bullies, there's usually one leader bully. I'm trying to say, right? I mean, isn't there like one
Yeah.
person that's the bully and everybody's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why do people feel a need to be part of the in crowd? Because I think, like Shy Lady, I despise the in crowd. I couldn't stand them.
Yeah. Well, growing up, I mean, I was the one always made fun of. So, I mean, it does something to you mentally, I guess you could say,
But
I,
but when you say, and I think people are not telling the truth if they say no, don't you think that everybody at some point in their life, and I do mean some point, maybe
oh,
when
well,
you were little,
yeah, I
yeah, because
mean,
you
of
were,
course, you go home wanting to be that, that girl that everybody calls and, wants advice from, or, that they, want to, oh, well, did you hear what so and so did today? Or, and you want to be the one that everybody talks to, of course. Who doesn't?
but I also think that people at some point in their life have been outcast in some way,
Hmm. Yeah.
and honestly,
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, I don't know. I just see, and you can tell me if you agree with this or not. I still think that people who were in that in crowd, whether it's at work, school, home, whatever, because I do believe that there's cliques in families. I truly believe that.
Oh yes, yes,
I truly believe
yes.
there are cliques in families. But you know, eh, I just think that they tend to be cruel.
Hmm. Yeah, they are.
I think that they tend to be cruel, and they tend to be like that because they think that it's funny. And if more
Hmm.
people are laughing, it gives them more
Adds them on, gives them more fuel.
yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, well, the meaner I can be and the more people laugh, but I think a lot of
Hmm.
people who are laughing and they're edging people on are the ones that keep talking about them because they may
They turn
turn
on you,
on them. Right, right, right.
and they will.
Yeah, yeah, they will. So I don't know. I think I was, at least. I think I was a nerd in high school. I didn't date. I wasn't the one that had all the boyfriends and what have you like that. And I look back, when you look back, because I have all of my yearbooks, and sometimes I go back and I look at photos and stuff, and I just kind of shake my head because I know where some of those people are now. And I just kind of
Hmm.
smile to myself, like, yeah, you were this way in high school, but look at you now. Hey,
Yeah,
Blunt, welcome. Hey, Davy Jones, welcome. I just look at those people. I'm like, mm-hmm. you know,
yeah. Hey,
hey,
Blunt.
hey, Sanity, how are you? You know, so I mean, just being part of the in crowd is not always it, and I think that sometimes being an outcast, it allows you to kind of sit back and for the only term that I can really use right now that I can think of is to sit back and people watch, like you're on the outskirts, but you're
Yeah.
kind of watching everybody. You're like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
So do you wish you had been part of the in crowd when you were growing up?
No. To know no, I mean, what I know now, no. I'm glad I wasn't.
Okay. All right. Well, I will say that when I was in high school, it was nothing, or even grade school, it was nothing like it is now because we didn't have social media.
Yeah.
So I do believe that social media puts a lot of pressure on kids in terms of who they want to hang out with, because kids can be cruel, and if you don't do certain things, they will blast you on social media. Next thing you know, you go to school the next day and everybody's laughing at you.
Mhm. Yeah.
But if you try to tell your child this, oh, it'll get better. Well, when you're, we all
Or it'll
know when
blow
you're,
over.
I
It'll
mean,
blow
I mean,
over.
it will, but as teenagers, we know when you're living in the then and now, it doesn't seem
Yeah.
like that it will.
It doesn't seem like it will though.
It seems like
Right. Yeah.
your whole life is over. But when I personally look back at some situations, that I was in or that I saw, again, as I go through my yearbook, or I look at some people on Facebook and I see where they are now, I just shake my head and say, I'm glad I wasn't part of that group.
Yeah.
I'm glad I wasn't this. I'm glad that I wasn't that. So
Right.
um but I don't know. Would you How would you label yourself in high school?
Oh man, I was the nerd. I was so bad the nerd.
Okay. All right. A nerd to the point where people were making fun of you, or you were just that nerd? Because for me,
Well, in
I
high
was
school, I was the type kid that I don't know. I would run from things. So if I saw somebody even come in my general direction that I knew would cause me problems, nope, I'd turn around and go the other way. I wouldn't give a chance. You know what I'm saying?
okay. So you look at those. Do you still know some of those people now, or of them, or where they are, and what have you?
I
Or
have no. I don't know where anybody is.
okay,
Thank God.
okay.
I mean, honestly, thank God.
So let's see. Blunt says, growing up, I was the nerdy girl, but I was still friendly with the cool kids. All right, all right. You know, I- okay. So I know because I'm reading what Blunt is saying. So the cool kids. Now, okay, I was being kind of biased there. So the cool kids could be cool, and everybody was not mean,
Hmm.
but I still think that a lot of the in crowd who were the cool kids tend to be a little bit on the nasty side.
Yes.
They were the ones that, if you were changing clothes in the locker room, they just had to say something.
Right.
So hey Sanity, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing well, thanks.
So what's up?
Well, I had to join in when you started talking about the in crowd kind of being crueler because I too have been pretty much an outcast. Not even because I eventually, came out and knew that I was gay, but not just the whole gay thing, but even as a young kid, I was never somebody that was like, hey, I need to get these specific clothes and I need to look this certain way,
Mm.
mom and dad, so that I can fit in. Or, and I was never like, I would play with the special needs kids or different races. I didn't even think about it though. It was just like, why aren't these people playing with the special needs kids. I didn't think special needs. I mean, I just thought, why aren't these people playing with these kids? Why do they have to be isolated?
Mhm.
I was just me, and I didn't think nothing of it. And so I wore my heart on my sleeve. And so I was outcast for that because I never really so much tried to fit in. I just was me. Um, and I want to tell this short story really quick.
Sure.
Um, if you've ever watched the show Lotus on HBO, um, that show is kind of about there's a episode in there about a kind of like a gay crew, and that's where I got into an in crowd. I was in a gay choir, and I didn't know it, but some I made some friends, and they were the in crowd in the gay choir. They were very wealthy, they were very talented, and for some reason, a couple of them really liked me, and so I was invited over to the house parties and all that stuff. But you are right. After a while, like listening to them, it was like, a lot of back talk about other people. And it wasn't long after a couple years that that came back at me because eventually, I became boring because I wasn't drinking enough and smoking pot enough and doing everything else that they were doing. Um, and certain things were done that I just didn't like and I wouldn't participate in, that I just was kind of kicked out, right? So I totally agree with that. I didn't fit into that kind of cruel atmosphere. So I'm always on the outside looking in. I have been my whole life.
Do you know where some of those people are now?
Oh, yeah, I do. They're still in this town.
And are they still doing the same thing and behaving the same way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you think that people who do that, are they happy?
That's a good question. I think that I would say deep down on the inside, I would say no, but they're finding a sort of temporary happiness in things like maybe partying and getting together, distractions. I mean, there is a certain sort of entertainment that people can find in their distractions for temporariness, but on a deep level, I don't believe they are.
Okay. All right. So, um, now you say that you've always been an outcast. Is that what are you
Yeah.
okay? Um, does that bother you?
Yeah, it does on some level. I mean, I'm glad that I have family, so I don't feel an outcast from my family. But in society, I never really feel like this is like I feel at home anywhere, with any group of people or at work. It's always an outcast at work too. So yeah, it does bother me. I don't understand it because I'm just myself. So it's kind of like, well, what's wrong with me? And I have to fight that. I always have to
Mhm.
push that off and not go with the what's wrong with me. Actually, I have a book. I read it every summer and it's called There's Nothing Wrong with You. And I read it every summer so that I get that imprinted in my brain again.
Oh wow.
Okay, but um, I don't mean to get a little personal, but if you want me to be quiet, just tell me to be quiet, and I won't. So when you say that you feel like an outcast, is it because you're gay, or do you just feel that way? Period.
Um, I feel that way, period. I mean, there is the gay component to it, but it, whether it's gay or not, whether it's because I'm gay and those attributes trigger people off, or it's because, some people say that when you're authentically yourself and you have a light that shines, people react to that and don't like that and get jealous of that, and that's the reason they react the way they do.
Hmm.
I'm not sure what it is on why I get the reactions I do, that I'm not I don't tend to be included in things like parties and people's parties and whatnot. And, I'm just not Mr. Popular. Um, so I don't know why that's been, in my whole life. Um, I'm not seen as so exciting. So, yeah.
I mean, I'm listening to everything that you're saying, and I am someone who has always been a talker.
Hmm.
Okay, I've always, I've never had a problem talking to people or anything like that. But I've also been told, and Shy Lady knows this, that, there's a particular place that we both worked, and I was the one who was always like, "Well, I don't understand this. Why do we have to do this? And this isn't fair. And this is, whatever." And I was known as the troublemaker,
Uh-huh.
and in school I was the same way. I was that nerdy person, but I was still the one who would tell the teacher, I'm going to go home and I'm going to tell my mother because what you did was not right, or, whatever.
Hmm.
And I was not part of that in crowd, but at the same time, I found early on, hey, B, what's up? I found early on that I didn't care if I was part of that in crowd. I knew the people that like me for me. 40 years lady, 40 years lady,
Your lady.
40 years later, Shy Lady is one of my best friends, and, you know, I just never really cared. So I guess what I'm saying is if you just take it like that, well, you will gravitate to the people and people will gravitate to you who really do like you, because I am me, and what you see is what you get. There are some people who don't like me, and I know that they don't, and I can be a bit much for some people. Um but
Same.
but at the same time it's like I have friends from all different groups of life, different colors, different, whatever, it's like I've just gotten to the point where I don't have time to worry about if you're this, if you're that, whatever. If you're a good person and you're a nice person, I want to be around you. If you're somebody who wants to talk about people and gossip and be mean and cruel, then I avoid you. Don't even bother calling me, and that's it. So if you just,
Hmm.
so I guess if I'm saying if you just be you and just gravitate to the people who you like and let them gravitate to you, maybe don't worry about being part of the in crowd.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't worry about being on the in crowd. It's just, you also want friends, and for me right now, I was at a stage, before COVID, where I had a lot of connections within my gay community because I was in those in crowd circles. And I wasn't trying to be in those in crowd circles, it just happened. And then that all fell apart, plus COVID. So now I don't have many connections, and I have to reestablish new ones. But I'm at a place where it's just like I kind of don't trust people at the moment because of what happened. And so I have to start over again. Um, and I'm already in my patterns from COVID of like, you know, which are isolating patterns, so it's hard to break those. So I have to break those and make new relationships.
Okay. All right. Shelby, you wanna comment on any of that, or no, or
It is kind of hard to want to not, to not want to isolate yourself. But then again, I'm the type of person that I do isolate myself. So I agree, with what he was, or what um he was saying, that it's just it's hard, um especially when you when you've been there and then you get ostracized, it makes it very hard to want to even associate with anybody, you know, um, even ones that you thought that you could trust, you know, that you thought had your back, you know, and you find out that you don't, that or that they don't have your back. You know, they were part of it the whole entire time. You know,
Okay.
so you know, I agree. You know,
Hey, B.
Hey,
hey,
Salad Blue. Um,
hey, Mister Buddy.
hey, hey, what's up, Mister? I don't want to say your name wrong, so hello. I don't want to say it wrong. How do you say it? Salad Blue.
Me?
Yes. How
Homo
you?
sanity? Oh, it's homo sanity.
Homo sanity. Okay, I would have jacked it up, and I want you to think I was making fun. So that's why
Oh
I
no,
didn't want to
it's
mess
okay.
with
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
even if you jacked it up,
that.
I'm not that anal
No,
retentive.
okay.
So
So he's making fun of me. Like, no, I'm not. I can't read. But anyway, I'm back to what you were saying. I totally agree that it's important to know when you need to step away from people because people can take energy away from you.
Very
And
much.
what I mean by that is like say you're happy, right? And you're having a great day, right? And then somebody's having a terrible day, whatever, they're just grouchy. And then when they leave, you're like, man, I feel tired and drained, and I was happy, and that is suck it all out. So what I'm saying is sometimes some people I have to just say, you know what, not today. Like,
But in terms of, I mean, because it's interesting what Sanity said about
mhm.
being an outcast and everything. Um, you got deep there. You got deep on us there. Um, and I have to ask this. So, are you saying that you don't have any friends?
um, I'll put it this way: I have a lot of acquaintances, and I have one. I have about two. I would say two people that I talk to on a deep level. One's in another country, and one's here locally. But if I want to do something, say like go to the movies or something like that, I have nobody I can do that with.
Dude, man, I feel your pain.
Yeah,
I'm right there with you. So
So
yeah.
Yeah, me
do you
too.
have a hard time going to the movies by yourself, or if you were to go to
Oh no,
a restaurant?
I do things by myself. I'm just saying,
Okay.
I would like to have somebody to do things with,
I
like I
mean,
used to, and I used to have that, but I don't anymore.
but okay, but the people who used to have that with were the people who you ended up saying were not who you thought they were, right?
Right.
Okay. All right. So no childhood friend, no school buddy that you went to school with or anything. You can say, hey, let's go see Robert De Niro tonight or something like that.
Yeah, I used to live in a different state, so those people live in a different state.
Okay. Do
Yeah.
so can you, I mean, but can you call? I mean, I'm not saying, hey, call them and say you want to fly out here and go to a movie, but I'm saying, but can you call them and just say, hey, what's up, and just start chatting?
Oh no, because the school I went to, I was bullied a lot, so I didn't have a lot of friends in that school either. Um, so yeah, I
Okay.
didn't have any in my grade level. The ones I did have, um, I don't have. I'm not able to find where they are actually now.
Okay. Have you ever thought of maybe joining some volunteer groups or something, and you can meet people that way?
Yeah, actually, I've done that before, and I've actually done meetup groups before, which is something I'm gonna. It's on my kind of like on my radar to do, and that's the thing, is I keep making excuses not to, because I'm just not trusting again, and I need to just kind of do it and just jump off and do it. I know that. So that's on me.
Well, I
It
mean,
is
because
on me to just do it.
the most that can happen is that you meet somebody and it just doesn't click, and that's it. But at least you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I I have found over the years that there's different ways and different places to meet people. I mean, some of the people here on social media I have met, very nice people, Miss Blunt Ninja. So, you, you
I'm
know,
so jealous.
but I don't. I guess. I mean, would you say that it's that personality can cause people to be part of the in crowd and be an outcast?
I'm not sure the question. Maybe somebody else can answer that.
Okay, repeat it, Solid.
No, my question is, do you think that your personality will determine whether you're part of the in crowd or an outcast?
Oh yeah, I do.
Okay. All right. So,
Yeah, because like for me, like I said, I didn't care what I wore. I wore what I thought I liked to wear. I wasn't like, oh, I got to get myself these $300 Nike shoes because these are what's in. I just
Right.
wore what I wanted to wear. I was who I was. Um, I didn't try and be somebody I wasn't.
okay. All right. Well, I do. Hey, serotonin, welcome. I do think that if you were to look into some volunteer places or something, because I mean, there are nice people out there. There are mean people out there, but there are a lot of nice people out
Oh, I agree.
and
I
just
agree.
from personal experience, just people that I've met through some of the volunteering that I've done, are really nice people. I mean, some people you click with, some people you don't. But yeah, I mean, you get one or two people, because I don't think that you need to have a lot of friends. Just like when you're
Yeah.
on Facebook and people say, "I have 5,000 friends." No, you don't.
No, no, you don't.
You don't have
You do
5,000
not.
friends. You talking about you're a friend of a friend of a friend. Hey, crazy lady. You're a friend of a friend of a friend. That's not a friend. Even though I'm on Facebook rarely. But the people who I do have on Facebook are people that I can literally pick up the phone and call and say, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
to me are friends, not just somebody that you click and say, be my friend, and that's it.
Right.
So, but um I do believe that society, uh whose ever dog is barking, can you mute?
Yeah, I'm gonna mute that dog. It's my dog. I'm trying to
Okay.
figure out how to.
Okay, there. Okay. So I mean, I just think that society also creates outcasts, like I said. Society tends to put people in groups, and if they want you in that group, you become an outcast. And I was reading something the other day, when I was thinking about this topic, where people who are put into the outcast group can also become socially anxious people.
Mhm.
That when they are around other people, they're so concerned that, oh my God, people were laughing at me because, maybe you went through high school and everybody laughed at the way you dressed because you didn't wear, like you said, the Jordans or whatever. So when you go somewhere else, when you're an adult, you're constantly, anxious, do I look right? Do I look fine?
Right.
And I'm like, you know, people gonna wear what they want to wear. Now there are some people that walk out the house. Y'all must admit now, y'all seen some people walking out the house where it's like,
Yeah.
maybe you
It's
shouldn't have had
questionable.
that skirt on. It's a little bit too short. Or dude, maybe you want to button up that shirt because, we don't need to see all your chest hair hanging out.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that for the most part, when people become socially anxious, that's not good. Just again, I just say don't worry about what other people think and just be you. And I personally prefer to be around people who are themselves. So, but that's just me.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I
So,
would have to agree. That was a long, hard lesson for me to learn, but I just
okay. Homo Sandy says, I have social anxiety.
social anxiety. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you know what? If you hang around this crowd for a while, you won't have you won't have
Yeah.
social anxiety. You won't. We will have you laughing and everything. So,
Right.
Hey, crazy lady, how are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you guys doing today?
Good, good, good,
Good.
Oh,
good.
And no, crazy lady, I haven't got my presentation done.
Did you want to comment, Miss Crazy Lady?
I'm sorry, I missed that. What did you say, Shelby?
I said I don't have my presentation done.
Did you find that title? Yes. Okay. You don't? Why am I not surprised? Slacker.
Because as they said in what was it in uh what was the Michael J. Fox movie? Um Come on, where he
I
was
don't know.
the DeLorean movie where he went back in time.
Back to the Future?
Back to the Future, because Shelby's a slacker. She's a slacker. That's why.
Gee, thanks.
She's a
I
slacker.
call it procrastination, but
Well, the procrastination word did pop into my head, but slacker, that just sounds just a little bit like eh. So,
yeah, thanks. I appreciate that.
oh, no
I
problem.
really do.
No problem. I have more.
Oh, I know. I know.
So you see, so almost saying, you hang around us for a while, we'll, you'll be, so yeah. So anyway.
All for laughs. It's all for laughs. I tell you, all for laughs.
So crazy lady, did you want to offer anything about being an outcast or being part of the in crowd?
You see how you
I'm sorry, what?
I am an outcast. I've always been an outcast, and it doesn't faze me. You know, I beat to my own drum,
That's the
and I
only.
encourage everybody else to beat to their own drum.
See, so
I'm a
But
51-year-old
your
raver.
drum is so pretty, though. I mean, your drum is just awesome. You just. I mean, you influenced me to want my drum to be like yours. That's how good you are.
but Shelby, then you'd be a copycat.
Shut up, Solid.
I'm just pointing out certain things. I'm just pointing out. I mean,
It's more of a. I'm at awe
Mhm.
that she
Mhm.
has the gumption to do that.
Mhm. Mhm.
Don't do that. You're mocking me.
I'm not mocking you. Would I ever do that to you, Shelby?
Yes, you would. You would, because you're doing it now.
I was about to ask you when was the last time I mocked you, but you just answered the question. So okay. So see, so everybody just beats to their own drum, do their own thing, and we can be our own individual in crowds.
Right. So,
See? See?
And we all still get along.
Yeah. Yeah.
For the most part.
For the most part. For the most part. So, but yeah, but crazy lady, she does beat to her own drum, and that's cool.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
So, But anyway, guys, does anybody? Let's see. Mr. B is gone. I'll start with Crazy Lady because I'm going to wrap this up. So, Crazy Lady, you have any last words of wisdom?
Just be yourself, because you know what? At the end of the day, all those people that you may be trying to impress, what is their value in your world, really? You know, unless
Mhm.
they are there, like wiping your butt or like paying your bills, their opinion really doesn't matter. You know,
Right.
you're responsible for your own happiness. And if, whatever makes you happy, do it, unless it hurts somebody else. If it hurts somebody else, don't do it, because, that's not right. But the
Okay.
rest of it, just got to be happy.
All right.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, Shelby.
Uh, just if this person is not in the in crowd and you see, people making fun of them or you know standoffish, at least go by and tell that person hi. That would make that person's day, regardless of what you may think. Um, you know, you never know what's going on inside of that person. You know, a simple hello could make that person, it could literally keep them from going home and doing the world's worst that they could do to themselves.
That's true. That is true. So you have a very good point there. Well, guys, thank you for Sanity and Crazy Lady and Mr. B and Shelby. Thank you for popping up on the panel today, and everyone
Of
else. Thank you
course.
for coming. Oh, Blunt sent me 3 hearts. That means she likes me. She really likes me. Oh, she likes me. What?
Listen to you.
What? She sent me 3 hearts. I didn't get any hearts from you. Oh, only 3. Wow. Okay, Blunt. See, never mind. You know what? That's okay.
Listening
But
to
you know
you.
what? That's okay because see, I owe Blunt and Fair. I owe Blunt and Fair for something that they did to me on the show last week. So, and they know what it is, and she's gonna say, "Just kidding." See, now, so you are already put it out there, Blunt. You already put it out there, so you cannot take it back. There are no take backs.
No take backs.
Mhm,
Ooh.
mhm, mhm,
I think that's a
mhm,
challenge, Blint.
mhm, mhm. Well, I am going to leave y'all with "Free Your Mind" from my outro song. So
Oh, heck. That's
here
a
you
favorite
go.
song of mine.
Well, here you go.
Prejudice. Wrote a song about it. Like to hear it? Here it go. Free your mind. I wear tight clothing, high heel shoes. It doesn't mean that I'm a prostitute. No, no. I like rap music, wear hip hop clothes. That doesn't mean that I'm out selling dope. No, no, no.
And that's it, everyone. Thank you for coming, including you, Blunt, too. Thank you for coming, honey. And oh boy. Anyway, thank you for coming, everyone, and enjoy your day wherever you are. And I hope to see you tomorrow. Bye.